Well, let's get this shit going. I was supposed to record a video yesterday. This podcast right here that we're doing right now in my car. I was supposed to record this yesterday and post it, and I didn't. And it really was weighing on me all day. Not because I hadn't posted it, but because I was trying to post it. I was trying to take the video. There were multiple times where I was like, all right, let's just go do this. The kids are busy playing games and stuff, and I can just tell them hey, just chill out in the room, and then I'll go take the video. I don't really edit anything. I don't want to edit videos. I don't want to spend time making it perfect and shit. This is fucking me. You just got to deal with me, and that's just how it's going to be. I got a nice microphone to record sound because I have to split the audio off of this video. I have to split the audio off of that to make the podcast work, but I'm not doing any editing. All right, I shoot in cinematic mode because it blurs the background, and I like that. So it doesn't really take a lot of time, but I just kept on feeling if I walked away from my kids and I walked away from my family and the things that I was doing and the responsibilities I had with them, I was just kind of not living up to exactly what I want to talk about today, real quick. Exactly what I want to talk about, which is that your presence. All right, this is going to be I'm going to say this at the end of every podcast I do. Remember that your presence is the greatest gift that you can give to your family, is the greatest gift you can give to your business, your spouse, your kids, your friends, even people in fucking Publix. Your presence, if it follows some guidelines, your presence is the best thing you can give someone. It's the most important thing you can give someone is your presence. And you have to be mentally and physically and emotionally fit, or else that presence might not be enough. It might not be what you need it to be. So let's talk about that. Let's dig that up a little bit. Yesterday I took care of the kids. My wife had some errands to run, and I decided that I was just going to stay home, take care of the kids. I had some clients in the morning, some clients in the afternoon, but for the most part I was home all day taking care of the little ones and just keeping them occupied, having fun, playing games. Isla took a nap. Maddox spent plenty of time in his room just playing with cars and stuff when he wasn't playing with me necessarily. And I had plenty of opportunities to do the podcast, to do the video, but I was just like, man, if I leave these kids alone, what if Isla wakes up and she needs me? And, I don't want to stop the podcast and feel oh man, I gotta stop the podcast to go get the crying baby. She deserves all of my fucking attention when she's crying, when she's upset, when she's not happy. She deserves all my fucking attention when she is happy, when she's not crying. Maddox playing cars. He plays cars by himself all the time. And then he'll come up to me and say, Daddy, you wanna play cars? And it's like a fucking, man, it just melts me every single time. Daddy, you wanna play cars? Daddy, will you play with me? Yes, I will fucking play with you. I'll let the food burn. In fact, I did let some food in the oven just roast, man. I made tofu jerky because I was playing with Maddox, and then Isla was making some noise, and that's just how it goes, right? And so I didn't want to leave them because that quote, I wrote that out a few weeks ago, and I was like, this is it. If I can get this down, if I can master this, then my life will be great, and my kids' life will be great, and my wife will be so happy and so proud and so fulfilled, because the gift that us men have, it ain't that little thing between your legs, and it's not your ability to make money. Women can make money just the same. It's not your ability to move stuff around or pick up heavy shit or have a deep voice, grow a beard. Your presence, being able to be the leader, to be the one that makes up for the feminine side of things, like the true healthy feminine side of things. The masculine healthy side of things is that other aspect. And we have to be there physically, you got to be fit, right? We need our kids to look at us and go, man, Dad's a jack motherfucker, and he don't take no shit. That kid's gonna want to be healthy, fit, eat right, have self-discipline, be able to take the long road. I posted a picture the other day of me 3 years ago. I don't take tests. I don't take D-ball. I don't take steroids. I don't take anything. I take creatine monohydrate every day, 5 grams on schedule. I take pre-workout. And for the most part, I eat plants. I'm mostly plant-based in my diet. And the difference between the skinny ass little bitch I was a few years ago, which by the way translated to a skinny little bitch of a attitude, of a behavior, of emotions, like it affected everything, to now not being that skinny little bitch anymore. And I don't have those behaviors. I don't act that way. I don't do that shit. There's correlation there. Emotionally, let's flip back 3, 4, 5. Let's go back 5 years, 6 years when my wife and I were just starting out. Emotionally, I was shit. I couldn't provide for her emotionally to save my life. And I can't believe she even stayed with me. And in fact, there were multiple times that she didn't. And some of them were her decision, and some of them were because of my decisions, because of my actions. I was not emotionally fit. I wasn't emotionally present there. And I sure as hell wasn't physically present there. I was out doing my own shit. Physically and emotionally. Those are the big ones. Because if you can't get those down, you really have no self-control. And if you're not in control of your own life, if you're not in control of your own self, then your presence is not a benefit, it's a burden. You are putting a burden on your family by being around them because you're toxic. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. There's toxic men and there are masculine men. Toxic men have no control. They see a girl, oh my God, I gotta have her. They see money, oh my God. They take the short route. They're the ones taking needles and putting it in their ass so they get yoked in 6 months. Oh man, I went from skinny to looking like I could go to an Arnold competition in 6 months. Let's go. Like, how the fuck can you be satisfied taking the easy route, taking the easy road? You gotta lift heavy weights, but that's not fucking hard. It's not hard to lift weights, be in a deficit, and gain muscle while doing so because of what you're taking. That's not hard. That's easy. That's the easy way. 6 years of building muscle just to get to the point where you can actually start looking like you build muscle and you actually know what the fuck you're doing. Like, that's hard. That's hard. I appreciate that guy. All of this comes down to the fact that, us men, I'm a little sweaty. I just ran a lot. I just got out of the gym. Us men are leading this country and being present in this country, and we're here. We're on social medias. We're on podcasts. We're in the gym. We're in everywhere. These men think that their presence is a gift, but it's a burden. It's a burden on others. It's a burden on them. It's a burden on their family. And the greatest gift they could give to other people is their presence, but only if they got their shit figured out. Emotionally, financially, physically, mentally. Like the guy that blows up, not fit. The guy that takes a bunch of added things to make his body change, and doesn't have any patience with it, not fit. I'm just what I think. And I can't speak a ton to the feminine side, the female group, because I am not a female. I'm not a girl. So I can't exactly say what is or isn't in the female realm. But a lot of this stuff applies to the female realm. Like, just guys are just wired differently. So it's a little different, but it applies. And a lot of women now are put in the position of being the leader of the household because the guy leaves, because he is not emotionally, physically, and mentally fit. So he has to leave, or he goes out on his own, or he goes and cheats, or he's a piece of shit and the woman leaves him because he's just a loser, or he's abusive. The abusive man is not emotionally and physically and mentally fit, right? This quote, when I wrote it out, I was like, God, fucking hell, this is it. This is it. If I can get this down, and I was thinking, if I can get this down, I'll never have to worry about my kids not respecting me. I'll never have to worry about my wife not being satisfied in me. I'll never have to worry about, getting angry and losing my temper and punching her, punching the wall, hitting my kids, losing my cool. I'll never have to worry about any of this shit that you see happening all over the place. Murdering people, murdering their families, people driving like idiots on the road. You drive like a jackass on the road, you're probably not mentally or emotionally fit. You can't even handle a simple task like driving. There's a ding on the front of the car I'm in right now, a big mark on it. My wife was driving it, and she got over a lane and kind of cut a guy off. She just made a mistake, and she put her hands up. I'm sorry. Wave to the guy, and this is an older guy, like in his 60s. Not old, but older. And so he then, while he's throwing up his hands and flicking her off and stuff, flies out 3 lanes to the right, jumps in front of another car, cuts off a Mercedes-Benz, and then slams his car into the front of hers, the Jeep I'm in right now, slams himself into that, and thank God it wasn't worse, because it could have been a lot worse. I mean, it's not even a dent, it's like scratches on the front. And they pull over, he gets out of the car, and he comes over and he's banging on the glass. He's got his hands in the car, like screaming at Sierra. And I'm telling you, that's not an emotional, that's not an emotionally fit man. That's not a mentally fit man. And sure as hell ain't a physically fit man. And had he done that with me in the car, he would have met an emotionally, mentally, and physically fit man, because I would have put him in his place. You can be, as Bedros Keuilian says often, a savage and a servant. And I would serve my family that morning, being a savage, that piece of shit that couldn't control his rage. If you are not taking control of every aspect of your life, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not like, wow, I'm really not like succeeding in this area, so I must be a failure. It's not like that at all. You just have to be making the attempt. But if you're not making the attempt to be physically fit, that's where it starts. The gym is the gateway. You got to start somewhere. It's at the gym. From there comes the discipline of doing shit that hurts, is uncomfortable, doesn't feel good, but has good benefits. It is hard to keep control of your temper and your tongue when your wife is laying into you because maybe she's had a bad day. Happens. What if you're a wife with young kids? All the wives, all the women who have young kids just heard that and went, God damn right. Like, you guys are stressed and pushed to your limits all day long. Your emotions are tested all day long, and your hormones, depending on how soon you had your baby, how recently you had your baby, your hormones are just beating you up. And I'm telling you, that's hard. And so us men need to be understanding of that and hold our tongue. Be patient. Be understanding. You meet a guy in a bar and you bump into him by accident and he spills your drink, and like, what kind of man just blows up and starts punching blindly? What kind of man can't control himself? Not a physically fit one. No. He might look physically fit. He's not physically fit. He doesn't have that ability to be under the weight, to stay under and just fucking hold his breath and just dig out from the fucking dirt to get to the other side. He doesn't know how that feels. He goes in and he does 8 sets of, he does 3 different exercises, 3 sets each, 10, 12 reps. He's a little sweaty and he leaves and he goes home. I started my leg workout this morning with 50 leg extensions, and I did that 6 times. Then I went and did heavy ass back squats, time under tension, like, controlling negative portions of that. Then I hit leg press. Then I went back and did single leg extensions to just really dial it in and feel the way I wanted to feel. Then I did some hamstring curls and I did hip thrusts. And when that was all over, I did a little bit of calves just to stretch out, and I did a nasty set of core. My stomach was fucking cramping, like killing me. And then came here today, this afternoon, and I posted on my story earlier. If you didn't see, I set a timer for 30 minutes, and I did a minute on and a minute off. The on minute would be a sprint. I needed to run for 60 seconds about as fast as I could. So for me, it's about 8 miles per hour currently. Knowing that I had incline and some things happening. If you put me on the treadmill right now, I probably run 12 miles per hour, but I knew I had some shit coming up. So 8 miles per hour. When I hit the rest, I bumped it up 0.5% of incline. And then I ran. And I bumped it up another half, and another half, and another half. Every minute, it went up 0.5% of incline, all the way to 15. When I got to 15, I was running at 5 miles per hour, and I was fucking suffering. I got done with that. I brought my ass out to my car, and I'm recording this video. Because like I said this morning, or like I said at the beginning of this podcast, I'm a little delirious now. I was supposed to film this yesterday, and I couldn't bring myself to do it. Because the main thing that I am trying to beat into my head and to everybody else's head is that my presence is the most important thing that I have. Not my money, not my job, not my body, not nothing. There's nothing that compares to my presence at home with my family. When I'm here with my clients training, my presence with them, being with them, making sure that they're okay, they're safe, they're not getting hurt, they're pushing themselves past where they should be at, they're getting results. My presence there is so important. I can't tell you how many times I've heard somebody say to me, like, something very deep, dark. I was in a bad place. I did this. I've heard people say they want to kill themselves. And like, I can be present for that. How can you not be, how can you be just, all right, just do your set and, hanging out, maybe text on your phone, and then somebody's like, it got so bad at one point, I thought I was going to kill myself. How do you give a response if you're just not present? My kids come to me and ask me, Daddy, will you play with me? Like, how can I not stop what I'm doing or finish quickly what I'm doing and go play with my son? Pick up my daughter. Hug my wife and tell her, like, dude, you're everything I got. How the fuck are people, how do you not realize that you have to be there in everything? Your business, your family, your trips to the store, it all has to be congruent. It all has to be built, and it all has to be important because you're the fucking man. I was listening to a podcast, and it was actually Bedros. I listened to a lot of Bedros Keuilian. I fucking love this guy. Bedros Keuilian, Gary Vaynerchuk, and Wes Watson. Pretty much take up all of my podcast time. And Pedros was talking about this thing that he does where he gets a bunch of guys together and they go through this crazy, it's 4 days and it's just brutal. And it sucks. It's like ranger training or like buds training. They put you on the beach, they put you in ice, they put you in all this crazy stuff. Really, really push your limits. And so he's talking about this exercise they do where in the morning they talk to each other and they try to get the guys to kind of throw the other dude underneath the bus. And later in the day, Pedros asked one of the other instructors, like, "Hey, so and so, who's the man?" And that guy goes, "I'm the fucking man." And then he asks another guy. The other guy says, "I'm the fucking man." And they just go around the room asking each other, "Hey, so and so, who's the man? Hey, you listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, who's the man?" The response should be, "I'm the fucking man." Because if it's not, you're not in control. And if you're not in control, your presence isn't a gift. And that is the only thing you have to give. As a man, your presence is the only thing you have to give to others. Being present, being there, being a savage and a servant. Emotionally, mentally, and physically. I will not poorly plan the next podcast. I will be there on time, correctly. I will be doing these because I want my son to know who I am. And God forbid I could be driving home right now and my life ends. And in 20 years, when he opens up Spotify or whatever the hell the social media or music platform is, then I want him to see videos of his dad, like saying, "This is who the fuck I am." And I want him to see at home who I am. And then, when he sees me at home being this way, being present, being, mentally and physically and emotionally stable and fit, I want him to go like, I wonder why Dad's like that. Like, I wonder why Dad acts that way or talks that way. And he's going to listen to this and he's going to be like, "God, oh, fuck, there it is. That's why." And maybe, hopefully, actually, hopefully he realizes that and I'm still living, right? Like, that's obviously the goal here. It's to not die. But you never know. I'm doing this because I want my kids to know who I am and who I was and who I'm going to be. And then I am doing it publicly because I believe that there are other people that need to know that you're the fucking man. The greatest gift you have is your presence. Do not forget that. Apply it and practice it. Write it on the fucking mirror every morning. Scribble it like on anything. Make it a reminder every hour that goes off. Like, whatever you got to do. That's it. So, thank you so much for listening to me rant. Thank you so much for spending this 24 minutes with me now. Next podcast, I might do something on Saturday morning. I'm debating between nutrition and fitness stuff or keeping that a little bit more short form clips for like Instagram and stuff. I'm not sure. I'm not positive. I know every week I'll be doing one of these. I know every week on Sunday my wife and I will post up a video or probably just audio for now. Audio of us talking our story and how we manage, life and everything we do. We just want a little insight to who we are. And again, our kids are going to be able to listen to like how we met and the story of my wife, throwing up on the floor and sleeping in it. And the story of Steven like stumbling around and being drunk as hell at his son's baby shower. Like, they're going to hear our stories and that's what we want. And we want to share them with you. And so like I said, I'll be here on Wednesday. Family will be here on Sunday. And you'll probably see some more stuff in between. So thank you so much. Please like, please subscribe, please comment, or really don't do any of that fucking shit. Just remember that your greatest gift that you can give to your family, to your friends, to your business, greatest gift that you can give to them is your presence. And that presence has to be mentally, emotionally, and physically very sound. Have a great day. Thank you.